While the group was in the safe room, Sister looked over to see Ellis, who was looking at his gun, and he was polishing it. You polishing your gun? Sister asked. Yes, I am, Sister, he said. But can I ask you something? Sister asked. But Zoe can't hear this. She'll want to hear from you. Sure, Sister. I won't tell Zoe, and I won't let Zoe hear from you, Ellis said as he looked to see Zoe was sleeping beside Ellie. Do you like Zoe? Like as if you have a crush on her? Sister asked. Ellis smiled, and his cheeks went red. Well, to tell you the truth, I have a crush on her. I've always liked her, Ellis said. I will tell her that when the time comes, though. I'm a little shy to, kind of a nervous wreck when it comes to confessing someone something. I have seen you and her talk to each other a lot, so you both have something in common that you like, Sister said as Ellis hugged her. Yeah, Zoe says that she is like a big sister to you. I guess you can say I'm like a big brother to you. But a good friend to call me that is even better, Ellis said as he ruffles her hair as Sister laughs and tells Ellis playfully to stop. You guys rest up? Rochelle and Zoe walked over to Ellis and Sister. Yeah, we are. I'm just having a bit of fun with Sister, Ellis said as he picked her up and laughs. She's strong, Zoe. You think he can lift you? Sister asked. I don't think so. He'll have to prove that he's... Before Zoe could finish, Ellis picked her up. Then Zoe started laughing. I could pick her up. She's so light, but she can be a bit heavy, Ellis replied, as he gently put Zoe back down. Who is Jimmy Gibbs Jr.? Ellie asked. He is someone that owns a car here, and if we get a picture with him before the infection started, Ellis said. Then an idea popped in his head. I've got an idea. You know them posters we've been seeing? Get your picture taken with Jimmy Gibbs' stock car? That means it's here. We just gotta appropriate it, and we got ourselves an escape vehicle. Is the car here? Zoe asked. Ellis, are you sure about that? She asked the group, and the group all walked out of the safe room that they were in the auditorium of the mall. There's a car. Is that it, Ellis? Sister asked as she pointed out the car. Yep, that's the one, Ellis replied. How are we all gonna fit in the car? Ellie asked. Well, there are 3 seats in the back and 2 at the front, so maybe Ellie can sit on one of her laps, Rochelle suggested. Ellie, you can sit on me. I don't mind being crushed. Coach laughed. It'll take a lot more than that to break me. Sister can sit on my lap, Zoe suggested, as Sister was hugging Zoe's leg. Zoe, do you have a chocolate Kinder Egg you hold on to until when we get here? Where did you put it? Sister asked. I think it's in my sweater pocket, Zoe said as she checked both her sweater pockets. Nope, not here. Zoe then checked her pants pockets. Oh, not there either. Then she checked her pants pockets. Oh, where could I have put them? She then checked her bra and found her lockpick. Hey, I was looking for that. Then she found a multi-tool. I was wondering where that went. Zoe then found the Kinder Egg surprise toy covered in chocolate in the wrapping. She saw the chocolate had melted in her bra. I found the melted egg surprise, Sister, she said as Ellis took a cloth and wiped the chocolate melted and the wrapping off of the toy of the capsule. We'll just have to get that chocolate off of Zoe's before it hardens and gets stuck, Ellie said. We'll just have to find a bathroom for me or a wet cloth to wash it off, Ellis said. Or I could lick it off, Ellis said. It was a really messed up joke. And Ellie and Sister giggled. Ellis, that sounds wrong, Nick said. Not funny, Ellis. You're just having your hormone moments, Rochelle said. How about we'll get Sister to do it for me? Ellis suggested with a smirk. It sounded wrong. Wow, that sounds wrong. Very wrong, Ellis, Liz's sister said. Hey, I was only kidding, Ellis said. Well, that's not appropriate to talk around kids, Ellis. That's called, well, I'm not gonna even bother say it, Nick said. Oh, buzz off, Nick. Ellis won't have Sister do something very wrong, Rochelle said. But those jokes, you shouldn't say them around kids, Ellis. Sister is an 8-year-old kid, Zoe said. Okay, I'm sorry, I won't say those jokes around Sister, Ellis said, as he gave Zoe a wet cloth and she walked away from the group to wash the chocolate off of her bra, and then she walked back to the group and they all went inside the elevator. What's the plan? Sister asked. Now remember, they don't fill up these cars at car shows, so we're gonna have to find ourselves some gas. There's some gas cans all over the mall, so we better get at least 13 gas cans, Ellis said. When the elevator doors opened, the group started to get gas. The horde of infected were there as well. Everyone was getting a gas can, at least 2 at one time. As soon as there was only 1 gas can left, Ellis looked at the group. One more can do it, he said. Sister got the last gas can and the tank was approaching her. "Oh crap, tank!" Rochelle shouted as the group started to shoot at the tank as it punched Sister with a gas can. She screamed as Alice and Zoe both caught Sister with the gas can. "You okay?" Alice asked. "Yeah, it hurts when he punched me," Sister replied as she handed Alice the last gas can. He filled the car up with the last gas can, and the car was all gassed up. As soon as the tank was killed, the group ran towards Jimmy Gibbs' car and jumped in. Alice was at the front with Zoe and Sister, while the rest of the group were in the back of the car. Alice started the car. "We'll be moving," Alice said as he turned the car keys and the car started. When the car started to move, they crashed through the doorways in the mall and they sped past the zombies. "Thanks for getting us out of the mall, Alice," Coach said. "It was not a problem. We'll get to Brother at this rate," Alice said as Sister was falling asleep in Zoe's arms. "Aw, Sister's asleep," Zoe said as she cradled Sister in her arms like a newborn baby. "She's very tired. She must have gone through a lot," Nick said. "Zoe, I am very sorry for the way I treated you when I first met you and Sister. It's just about my past when the infection started." "What's the story, Nick?" Ellie asked. "Well, I was an escaped prisoner and I stole a nice suit so I can survive in the infection in style. I was still a convicted felon, so I wasn't allowed firearms while in prison until the outbreak happened," Nick said. "Geez, Nick, you were so bad," Coach said. "But being an a-hole is now not a good time." The group was still driving down the street. Of course, when Ellis found a safe spot around the road, there were no zombies. Ellis stopped the car so then the group can rest for a while. After the group was all rest up, they were all ready to continue down the street, so Ellis looked at Zoe, who was carrying a sleepy sister bear. "Do you want to drive for a bit? I'll keep Sister on my lap," Ellis said. Zoe gave Sister to Ellis as she and Ellis both switched seats, and Zoe was driving while Ellis had Sister in his lap. "This is fun," Zoe said while she was driving. She could see something up ahead. "I see something," Zoe said as she slowly stopped the car. They can see the same bridge that Bill helped the survivors get to when Woodard Jones was trying to get rid of the survivors. "It's a bridge, but it's up," Rochelle said as the rest of the group got out of the car. "Now how are we going to get across?" Coach asked. "Maybe someone can help," Sister suggested, as two guys were on the bridge looking down. "Why, hello there," the biker guy said. Then a manager man appeared right beside him, and he noticed that Zoe was back with Sister Bear, and that they had new friends with them. "Oh my God, Zoe, is that you and Sister Bear?" Francis asked. "Francis, is that you?" Zoe asked excitedly. "Oh my God, it's been forever," Zoe said as Francis and Lewis grabbed the rope ladder and they climbed down to see Zoe and Sister. "Francis, Lewis," Sister said as she and Zoe were in a group hug. "We missed you girls. It's been so quiet since you all left," Lewis said. "We all missed you both. Everything's been going well until Brother was taken by a charger along with Farmer Ben," Sister sighed. "Farmer Ben must be behind this? We overheard him talking," Zoe added. "I see. You both are on another adventure, I see," Francis replied. "Yeah, so what, do you guys want to come with us?" Sister asked. "We'll think about it, Sister, but it doesn't mean we'll go with you," Lewis replied. "I understand," Zoe said as the group looked at the bridge to see it raise up. "How can we get the bridge down so we can get across?" Zoe then asked. "Well, since Bill saved us by turning on the generator and made the bridge rise, so you guys will have to fill up the generator with gas. The generator is out of gas, so if you go over the other side and fill it up, we can cover you from there, and when the generator is filled with gas, the bridge will lower you and you'll be on your way," Lewis said to the plans of the group. "Thanks, Lewis. I really do appreciate it," Zoe said as she and Sister Bear walked down the quiet streets. "She is so beautiful," Ellis said with his dreamy eyes. "She is so beautiful." "You have a crush on her, Ellis," Ellie said, smiling at Ellis. "You should tell her that you have a crush on her and ask her out on a date. In fact, Ellie, you're right. I should. But I'm not sure how to tell her this," Ellis said. Then Too Tall and his gang used pea shooters and hit Nick with them. "Hey, Ellis," he growled. "Relax, Nick. It wasn't me." "Cupcake, watch where you're shooting," Nick shouted as Zoe and Sister were not happy. "It wasn't me. Go to hell, Colonel Sanders," Zoe yelled back at Nick as she and Sister walked away from the group. "Nick, you were harsh on her. There's no way it could be her shooting at us," Rochelle said as she was hit by a spitball from Too Tall and his gang using pea shooters. "Hey, I was hit too," she said. "Whoever's messing around with us, it ain't getting away that easy," Coach said as Ellie tugged on Ellis's hand. Why you go follow Zoe? I think Nick hurt her feelings, Ellie said. You're right, Ellis sighed. But Nick is an a-hole as well. I don't blame Zoe for saying that Nick is a jerk. Ellis grabbed his gun and followed Zoe. He soon caught up with Zoe and Sister Bear while they were on a bench. Go away, Sister said to Ellis, who was surprised. Excuse me? Ellis sounded a bit upset. Sorry about that, Ellis. Sister and I are very upset with Nick for calling me Cupcake and saying I was shooting him when I was not, Zoe said, as Ellis crouched down right in front of Sister and Zoe. Aw, that's okay, Sister. I know you didn't mean to be rude to me. You must be mad with Nick since he hurt Zoe's feelings, eh? Ellis said to Sister. Yes, I think I saw Tootle and his gang shooting us with spitballs, and I wish they'd just go away, Sister added, as Ellis and Zoe weren't very happy with Sister swearing. Hey, now watch your language, Sister Bear. Your mama and papa wouldn't like that talk from a cub's mouth, Ellis said. My dad would wash my mouth out with soap if I swore when I was younger, Zoe said, as she and Ellis laughed. That was something both my parents did when I was younger. When I said a bad word, they put soap in my mouth, Ellis said, and it tasted like crap. Everyone laughed as they walked through the park area. When is your birthday, Zoe? He asked. Tomorrow, Ellis. I'll be 19 years old, Zoe replied. You're turning 19? Lucky you, Zoe. I wish I was that age, Sister said. I want to wish you the best birthday present any girl could ever ask for, Ellis said as he held her close. Thanks, Ellis. So I'm glad you're going to be giving me your birthday present? Zoe asked. I wonder what it is. You'll see when tomorrow comes, Ellis said as he hugged Zoe as the group continued down the streets. When they were in a store, Ellis found a new weapon. Hey, wow, I found an M60. He said. He picked up the gun and felt an itch in his pants. Pants. What's the matter, Ellis? Nick asked. Do you have ants in your pants? He asked. No. I'm itchy in them for some reason, Ellis said as he itched his, private area. You have a sweaty crush on that Zoe girl, do you? Rochelle replied. Yeah, and I keep having a hard... I'm not even going to say it, what it is, he said. Okay, TMI, but really, Ellis, you'll have to tell Zoe that you have a crush on her, Rochelle replied to Ellis as Sister and Zoe were waiting for the group at the bottom of the stairs. Tomorrow's her 19th birthday. I'll tell her then, Ellis grinned at Rochelle. If my pants stopped making me itch like crazy. The group was able to get up the stairs when they were inside one of the stores. They found a way back out onto the streets on the riverbank. They walked down the street until they were at a wedding scene at a park. There was a witch who was a bride. I have never seen a witch bride before. This would maybe make a good movie, Ellie said as Ellis was soon hit by a spitball. Hey, whoever's hitting me with spitballs, please stop, Ellis said, and then Zoe heard Tootle and his gang messing around like losers. I know who's doing it, Zoe said to Ellis. Hey, Sister Bear. Hey, it's Sister Bear with Zoe, Tootle said. And you must be their friends, Smirk said. Yeah, you are the ones that shot at us, Nick said. Nick, calm down. Let's just tell them not to do that, Coach suggested. What are you doing, Wayne, Ellis asked as he was crossing his arms. Just messing around like teenagers. You're losers, Scuzz said. Can you stop shooting spitballs at us, please? Ellis said nicely. Since you said please, go away, dude, Tootle said as he kicked Ellis in the groin so hard that Ellis grabbed himself and he starts to groan in pain as he fell on the ground. It made Zoe angry. Hey, you two can't do that, Zoe shouted as she grabbed an axe and started to charge at Tootle and his gang. They started running around and screaming. Calm down, Ellie said, but no one was listening until Zoe chased Tootle and his gang away when she ran towards Ellis. Ellis, are you okay? Zoe asked as Ellis breathed heavily in pain. Not really. My sensitive spot were kicked so hard, he moaned in pain as he slowly stood up. Are you sure you're going to be okay? Rochelle asked. Yeah. My sensitive area is going to be sore for a while, Ellis replied as they were walking down. He was walking with one hand over his area. Ellis, sweetie, that hurts like hell being kicked there, Zoe said. It's even worse when a girl gets kicked here. But for a guy, it's much worse. What are those words that Ellis said? Sister asked. Zoe sighed and looked at Sister. It's something that guys have, and it's a very sensitive for them. So when they're kicked there, it hurts, Zoe explained to Sister. Do they have a purpose at all? Sister asked as both Zoe and Ellis face-palmed. That's for another time, sister, Ellis replied. Well, sister, maybe I can explain that to you later, Zoe said, as Ellis was rubbing his sensitive area where he was kicked. You okay now? I feel better, but they're going to be sore, Ellis replied. Now let's try not to get kicked there again, Ellie said. Okay, Nick said as he ran to kick Ellis in the sensitive area. When Ellis kicked Nick there, it caused him to fall on the ground in pain. Rochelle, Zoe, Ellie, sister, coach, and Ellis all laughed. You are an a-hole, Rochelle laughed. That's not funny, Nick grumbled under his breath. Ignore what he said, Ellis said. It's Zoe's 19th birthday tomorrow, sister said. Happy early birthday, girl. I am so excited for you, Rochelle said as she hugged Zoe. Sorry, your honeymoon is over, Nick said as he walks up to the witch after getting up from the ground. He took a pistol and shot the witch in the head. We should find a safe room. It should be around here somewhere, Ellie said. You know what? I totally should marry that Zoe girl, Ellis said to Nick. Marrying her would be the very last thing you would want to do, Nick said as Ellis pushed Nick out of the way. The safe room is somewhere, but let's get out of here first, Coach said as the group left the wedding grounds, and they found some wandering zombies along the way. As the group made it to another safe room and they took a break, once they were prepared, they all walked out of the safe room at another exit. We gotta hurry, I missed my car, Ellis said. We're in the city of Rayford, so they used boiled peanut festivals here. Good times, Nick's coach said. The street's this way, Rochelle pointed. I see something, over there, Zoe pointed out. What is that? Rochelle asked as Zoe picked up a baseball. It's Brother's baseball, Zoe replied. So we must be getting close to where Farmer Ben and Brother are, Sister said. The more clues Farmer Ben leaves, then means we'll be getting closer, Ellie said. The group walked down for the rest of the streets, and they went to the room to find bloodstains. There's a lot of blood. I hope it's the infected's blood and not Brother's. God, I hope Ellie's right. I would turn out cool in a horror movie, Rochelle said as Zoe was grabbed by a smoker and cries for help. Ellie, of course, sister ran out from the alleyway. Zoe's in trouble! Someone help, sister said as Ellis grabbed his combat shotgun and ran towards the alley to find Zoe being hung by a smoker. He shot at the smoker, killing him instantly as Zoe was on the ground, tied up in a smoker's tongue. Ellis then freed Zoe. Hey girl, you're free, he said as Zoe gave Ellis a hug. Thanks, Ellis, I owe you one, Zoe said as Ellis helped Zoe up. Now which way should we go? Sister asked. Let's go this way. Follow me, Coach said. The group followed Coach through the streets until they all stopped at a place called Club D. What does Club D mean? Sister asked. It's another word for strip club, sister. But you don't even want to know what that means, Ellie said as the group found a pool bar and they all went up to an old jukebox. Wow, this is cool, sister said as she was looking at the jukebox. This is a jukebox. This was a radio that was used to play CDs. These before CDs were made, Zoe said as Ellis played around with the jukebox for a minute and then he was able to get the right song. All right, this jukebox works, he said as the music started playing. Then sister can hear someone. Zoe, there's a hunter outside, sister said as Zoe threw a Molotov at the hunter who was burning to death. Within a few minutes of watching the hunter suffer in pain, he was killed. All right, Zoe cheered as she and sister both gave each other high fives. Then the group dropped down to a flooded street, where the water was the level of their ankles. They all walked through the house and went up the stairs. Then the group got on top of the house to find a wooden-strong plank, a path for them to walk across the other side. Okay, we can walk across this, just don't look down, Ellis said to everyone as they all walked one at a time across the plank. But sister was scared, so Zoe walked towards sister. You scared? She asked. I can't go on. I'm too scared, sister said as she backed away from the plank. I'll just pick her up and put her around your back, Ellis suggested. Zoe picked up sister and she was on Zoe's back, and she held Zoe around her neck as the girls crossed the wooden plank. Everyone was in the other building, so they all found another street outside the building. So they all walked down the street until they found an underground tunnel of the streets, and they went through the underground tunnel. It's so neat, sister said. It's so cool. Look at all the routes, Ellie said. It's so amazing how you can have your own adventure with friends. The group all walked through the underground tunnel as they heard a boomer in one area, a spitter in the other. Soon the ground was another tunnel full of water until there was a bridge that needed to be lowered. When this bridge lowers, it'll make a lot of noise, Ellis said as he called down for the bridge by pressing a button. It caused two hordes of infected to attack the group. They were able to shot down 2 hordes of infected, which the fight lasted until every infected was dead. Once they were out of the watery part of the tunnel, they found a safe room in the dry area. "Safe room up ahead," Ellis said to call up to the group as they all ran inside the safe room. Once everyone was inside safe, they prepared themselves and they all walked out of the safe room. And they walked up the stairs till they were back and they were almost started. Ellis, Francis, and Lewis were up on the bridge. "You guys made it. You all okay?" Lewis asked. "Yep, we're all okay, Lewis. We're just going to stop Farmer Ben. He is the new villain to fight and save Brother Bear," Zoe replied. "I was hoping you two could join us." "Well, we love to, Zoe, but Lewis is injured at the moment and we are safe up here," Francis replied. "We better get you all on your way. Head down and fill up that generator. Me, Francis, will cover you from up here," Lewis said. "Sounds good. Thanks, Lewis and Francis," Zoe said to the group as they got all inside the elevator. "Now, Ellis, keep your mind on the gas and not on the girl for now," Coach said. "The last thing you need is a distraction." "All right, but she's sure is beautiful," Ellis said as the elevator doors opened up and the group ran anywhere to find at least 10 gas cans to fill up the generator. Zoe and Sister, along with Ellis and Ellie, walked into a room where they stood to saw Bill, who was dead. "No, is that Bill?" Sister asked as Zoe started to cry a little. "Yes, he did what he had to save us all. I am glad his sacrifice was there for us," Zoe said. "Who's Bill?" Ellie asked. Zoe then explained to Ellie and Ellis who Bill was before he died to save the group. He even helped everyone stop Witter Jones and to save the cubs that she took. Sister was one of them. "We have to make it to the bridge to rise so we can all be safe. Then we'll have to have someone sacrifice to save us," Bill said, "and I'll do it." Everyone was shocked that Bill was going to sacrifice himself just to save the group. "Bill, why?" Zoe asked. "You can't do that." "I have to, Zoe. It's the only way I can save you guys," Bill replied as Zoe's eyes began to swell with tears. "I'll do it," Lewis said, as Bill stopped him from doing so. He wanted everyone to live. "I want you all to live so you can all say your last goodbyes to me," Bill said as everyone said their last goodbyes. And Zoe was crying. "Zoe, I know this is tough, but I want you to know something. You're like a daughter to me, or even a granddaughter to me, even though I'm not your real dad. I love you, Zoe," Bill said as he hugged Zoe one last time as she cried in his arms. The cubs and Mama began to cry too. It was hard to watch Zoe cry and not have him cry too. "Goodbye, Bill. I will always remember that you were like a dad to me or a grandfather," Zoe sobbed as Bill grabbed his gun. "Stay safe," Bill replied as he walked down the bridge. He began to run towards the horde of infected with 3 tanks. "Eat fires, you son of a guns!" Bill snarled as the tanks attacked as he restarted the last generator and ran into a room where he looked at the 3 tanks. He had his last cigarette, and that was just the end of him. "I understand how you feel, Zoe. Losing someone you love and that is very close is very heartbreaking," Ellis said as Zoe looked up at Bill's deceased body one more time. She looked into his pockets to find a picture of him with Zoe and all of her friends, including Witter Jones, who was the villain that she fought with him. "This is all I will have left of him," Zoe said, handing Ellis the picture. He held Zoe in his arms as she cried in his chest for a bit. "I lost my parents when the outbreak happened. I know losing parents and even someone is very sad," Ellie said. "You feeling better?" Ellis asked. "Yes," Zoe said as she cried the last bit of her tears out. "Now let's go see how far everyone's at," Zoe said as the generator just needed one more gas can. The infected were all shot down, so Ellis found a gas can and filled up the generator. The bridge began to lower itself down, so everyone crossed the bridge, and they all jumped in the Jimmy Gibbs car. "Be safe, Zoe, and good luck on finding Brother," Francis said. "We will, Francis," Zoe smiled. "Take care of Zoe and Sister Bear," Lewis added. "I will, Lewis. I hope we run into each other again someday," Sister said, as Ellis drove the car across the bridge, waving goodbye to Francis and Lewis. "Maybe we can follow them once I'm better," Lewis said as as they were all waving goodbye to Zoe and her friends. They all sped away until the car was out of sight.